About 20 years ago, the New England Patriots traded for Bill Belichick in what could be known as the best trade in NFL history. I'm Sierra Goodwill here with Evan Lazar. Obviously, in hindsight, this trade worked out pretty well for the Patriots.
Yeah, the Patriots have one head coach over the last 20 years. The rest of the league has 192 head coaches over the last 20 years, 6 Super Bowls, 17 division titles. We know all the statistics for Bill Belichick and the Patriots, but I think that what's most remarkable is that stat. One coach for New England for 20 seasons, 192 combined head coaching hirings through the rest of the league.
And obviously went back in 20 years ago when they traded for Bill Belichick, it wasn't a given that, he would create this dynasty with Tom Brady, 6 Super Bowls, and be touted as arguably the best coach across any sport in professional sports. So how has the evolution of Bill Belichick come about, and how have you seen him evolve from 20 years ago to how he is now?
Yeah, I think this hits on a couple of different things. First of all, players, coaches, they all evolve. They all get better in their respective sports. Not everybody is gangbusters right out of the gate and is just a rookie that wins a championship or a second-year quarterback that wins a championship, Tom Brady. So some guys need that time to get better, and Belichick went to Cleveland, and he came back to New England for a few years as an assistant coach and eventually got back into head coaching. I think he learned a ton from that time in Cleveland. He kind of learned how to still be a hard ass but not be quite as hard as he was before when he was with the Browns, and kind of be able to massage some of the egos in the locker room and go about that. The Patriots had a roster at the time, and not taking anything away from Belichick, that was pretty darn good, especially on the defensive side of the ball. They already had guys like Teddy Bruschi and Ty Law and Lawyer Malloy and a lot of different players that were a big part of that dynasty in the early 2000s, and Belichick kind of just infused his kind of spice onto it and really made it what it is. And remember, in 2000, they go 5-11. Drew Bledsoe has a decent year, but not a great year. It wasn't looking like he was going to win 6 Super Bowls over the next 19 seasons after that. It didn't start out very well, so the patience for Bob Kraft and Bill Belichick, also a lot of things that people can learn from now is that sometimes it takes a few years to get the program instilled. And Belichick has said in the past that he didn't really feel like it was until about 02, 03, 04 maybe that he felt like his program here was instilled and kind of he felt confident in what they were doing here. Even 2001, I think he would admit to an extent was a little bit of a fluke, right? And it wasn't until a couple years later that he felt comfortable here and he felt like he had established a culture here. And I think that a lot of coaches and a lot of teams now, they get impatient and they go ahead and they have 1 or 2 seasons that don't work out well for them and they fire their head coach and they start all over again. We see it happen in the league all the time, and the Patriots are a great example of just kind of staying the course.
How are the Jets feeling 20 years later about this trade?
Yeah, it's funny. I looked up the player that is actually the Niners that ended up using the pick. The Jets traded out of the 16th pick in the first round of the 2000 draft, which was the big piece of the trade. There was a bunch of picks that went back and forth between the Patriots and the Jets. Julian Peterson, linebacker for the 49ers for about 6 seasons, made 5 Pro Bowls, made an All-Pro team in the early 2000s, so it wasn't a complete bust of a pick that they ended up using on a linebacker there in the 2000 draft, but I think we'd take Bill Belichick over Julian Peterson.
Absolutely, and this Patriots Press Pass is brought to you by Books. Looking for that special Valentine's Day bouquet for your special someone? Head to Books. You can get beautifully arranged bouquets, sweet treats, gifts, and more for 25% off. Go to Books.com/garden and use code GARDEN. For all the rest of our Patriots off-season coverage, head to our website at CLNSmedia.com and subscribe to our YouTube channel at CLNS Media.